She used to be an actress.
Has she ever done anything that I would have seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What is a pilot?
Well, you know, the shows on TV.
I don't watch television.
Yes, but you're aware there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows?
Why, yes.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. And they show that one show to the people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing.
You remember that from Home Improvement?
Yeah?
Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my game show guy. It's Captain Philip Restisher.
Very excited, very excited. Season 28. We've been doing this for 28 years.
I think this is your favorite kind of pilot.
This is my favorite kind of pilot. I love a good game show. I love a bad game show. Mm-hmm. We did a season before that was all game shows.
No, we don't.
We've just done a lot of them.
We've done a good handful of game shows. Actually, we have a guest today, and this guest was on an episode that we've done before that was a game show. I believe it was called Twisters.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too.
You remember that movie?
Yeah.
The star of that movie was The Wind. You remember that?
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
we remember.
Anyway, yes, game shows.
I thought it was that cow.
That's terrifying. That was the early CGI. Incredible. Beautiful. Beautiful bovine.
Yeah, so sit back, relax for the next 10 weeks.
We found 10 of them.
Jason found 10 of them.
I did it.
And I'm excited. The first one I'm even more excited about when I clicked the button.
Why is that?
Because it was 15 minutes long. And I was like, it's a game show. It's 15 minutes long. This boy, after 28 years, has finally found my sweet spot.
Call me a boy again. See what happens.
My boy.
I'll knock your fucking block off. You call me a boy again.
My man. How's that? Well, if I say my man,
I call you my game show guy. That's what I call you.
Oh,
because you like game shows.
I love them.
What's your current favorite game show that is active? Do you have one?
Oh, active one? No. I just like to. I'll tell you. I'll answer that reversely.
Right.
The game show that I hate the most.
Right.
Is Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, here's the theme song.
Because A, I don't spell very well, and B, Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Just seems so arrogant when somebody goes bankrupt. He's like, darn, I'm still rich.
That guy has been on autopilot since 1992.
Oh, yeah, both of them. Vanna doesn't even have to turn anything now. She just taps the screen.
It's all touchscreen.
It's all touchscreen
Kept up
now.
with modern tech. I kind of miss the spinning of the numbers there. My favorite game show.
Yeah, The Price is Right, baby. Still watching?
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah.
Y'all all up on that Pluto?
I feel like that microphone's getting longer and skinnier. I think eventually it's just going to be a 3-meter piece of string.
Oh. Yeah, so sit back. If you guys like game shows, you're going to love this. Where else can you find Middle America being overly excited to be on television for a chance to win a freezer?
Well, I tell you what, I'm very overly excited for today's guest. You want to introduce
No,
him?
I do it every time, and it pleasures me when he's here. But I'm going to let you take the reins, and I'm going to let you introduce him.
Okay,
Matt Phillips, everybody.
Welcome to Matt.
No, do
you did. It was good. He'll be on again. I'll do a special intro then.
Fan favorite, one of my favorite. Actually, the only guest I really want coming onto this show.
Why do you hate guests so much?
Huh?
Welcome, Matt.
It just takes time away from us.
Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Matt.
Gentlemen.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
You like this intro?
It really gets me psyched up.
You're the only person I do this intro for.
I love that. I've got my corner. Yeah.
That's Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. It's the 8-bit version of his former theme song.
I love that.
And that was the old intro for Heel versus Face, the podcast you did with Kevin.
Yeah.
This is the intro to that. Who does the voice? Is it Scott?
Welcome. Yeah, Big E did it.
You ever hear that show before?
The one you mentioned before that, the heel versus face. How long did that go on for? Because I don't.
About 9 episodes.
Is that what it was? Okay.
We have a jam-packed card.
Yeah, that's Scott.
So let's get to the ring.
And I overdid the echo. I'm like,
They
oh,
played up the echo.
in the arena, it's going
Right.
to echo all over because the arena's empty. Yeah.
Due to COVID?
Oh, this is way
It was
before.
pre-COVID.
Oh, I pre-COVID all over that thing. It was.
That's disgusting. You're a disgusting person. I don't know. Let's do a quick little bit of back history here. You guys at one time had engaged in a competition, basketball.
Oh,
yeah,
summer. Last summer. Yeah.
yeah. This past summer 2020, right?
Yeah, what a summer.
Was that pre-COVID?
Everyone had masks on.
That was mid-COVID.
That was
but-
mid-COVID.
That was mid-COVID.
We did that mid-COVID.
That was the first out of quarantine, right? That was after the big quarantine, the first quarantine.
Yeah,
it was
It was
right
in
around that,
between.
yeah.
It was very, yeah.
Yeah.
So big quarantine was probably March, April, some of May.
Yeah, it was.
And then we were in the summer. Yeah.
Oh, it was hot.
Ooh, baby, that was some hot stuff. And then it was a contest in which Matt bested you. And if people, it's well documented on YouTube. If you have any interest in seeing it, it's a 30-minute video called Hoop Jeans.
And it's had 30 views.
Is it really? I haven't
I
seen
don't know.
it.
I haven't seen it
It's
either.
probably about right. But yeah, if you want to see that, you could actually see their competition. It was videotaped live.
It was neck and neck the whole time.
I don't know about that.
And no, it was. I felt like at the end, I took Matt to places he's never been before.
I'll say.
to the limit, right?
Yep.
He really did.
Decency.
Not
And
on the
there's-
scoreboard so much,
there was some
but
there was-
emotionally.
There was a lot
To
of
the
poor
limit.
refereeing. The refereeing was horrible.
Oh, yeah. Some real questionable
Well, that's
calls.
done. We don't have to dig into
No.
that. But I feel like all great things come in threes.
Okay.
Is that the first of a trilogy of events that we're going to see you guys square off in?
I'm on record as saying that I'm going to get just trounced in bowling, but I'm just waiting for the invite.
I feel like that's the next step,
It's
right?
gotta
We are
be.
doing bowling
Yeah.
next.
we are doing bowling next. We're gonna see how long we stay open here. This time,
Yep.
and but it can become a reality very, very soon.
Okay.
Love that.
I don't know what the third option is. Like I said, trilogy. I mean,
Thumb wrestle.
Lawn darts.
thumb wrestling and lawn darts? Jarts, they're illegal.
It's, the,
Homemade
And
lawn
eBay
darts.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
the last one should be like a triathlon of events, or is
It's something you got to meet in the middle on, guys.
You had me at
yeah
triathlon.
Well,
Yeah, he's already beaten you.
no, this is like where do you go from event to event. Like there's like a beer guzzling.
Decathlon.
and-
Tricathlon.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I do a tricathlon with
Yeah.
him. Okay, we'll figure out what those are later. But let's focus on the next event when that time comes. Hopefully, it's soon that you guys do that, and we can document that as well. Let's
do it.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. But before that, we're gonna have an event right now.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
There's gonna be an event that's happening on this very program. We didn't tease it at all last week. This is something that I've had in my possession for a while.
In his possession.
It's my possession. It's a little something called the One Chip Challenge. It's by a company goes by the name of Paqui, Paqui, and it is basically one extremely hot tortilla chip. I had purchased these back in October of 2020 with the intents to use them, and that occasion did not happen. So I was stuck with 3 of these boxes. I brought 2 of them tonight, knowing that Matthew is a man of competition and a man of spice. And that I thought him and I...
Would you say that you're both heat seekers?
Him more so than me.
Okay.
I don't seek out heat, but I will accept it. There's a very good story Matt has from being in Chicago eating some Thai curry. We don't have to get into that today, but yes, this is a challenge. It's a box shaped like a coffin, and it contains 1 chip, and damn it was $10 a piece.
Are you
That's what
serious?
I didn't know if you'd share it, but I wanted to ask how much
you
these
can- I
set you
don't care.
back. Yeah.
I almost no filter. I brought only 2 because Blake I knew absolutely. It's if you give him a seasoned chicken finger, he would say no. Let alone a chip that would burn a hole through his gut.
Yeah, I've seen people do this, and even if I would have said no, I would have never said yes to it, no matter what. But I've seen people go.
It's gonna be brutal.
I've seen the ambulance pull up, and so.
Well, I think we're going to try to do a whole show with this at the top, which may be a mistake.
Okay, let's do it.
I didn't remember. That hadn't quite clicked yet. That
So
this
are you-
was going to be right here at the top.
So
Yeah.
are you going to just like take turns taking a little nibble, or is there?
Oh no, it's down the hatch for me.
How do you do
Yeah.
this?
I think there's some more information on what the challenge actually is. Some information
Okay. Oh,
inside.
sorry.
So I think it's
Sorry.
fine. I think we're going to dig into the box. We're going to talk about the box, what it has to say about the challenge. We're going to open it up. I've never done one of these before. Have you done a one chip challenge before, Matthew?
No, sir. No.
So we'll dig into it and see what the rules pertain to as far as what that challenge is. But I strongly suspect that we will eat them all at the same time, and then we're going to play a game afterwards in relation to today's episode, Crossword.
Okay, all right. So look, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to eat it together. Not the same one. You're each going to have your own one.
Correct.
And you're getting a knife out already, so you're planning on having to cut your throat open to.
This
get
is just
air
open
to
the
it.
box.
Oh.
Just open the box. But I will do that if necessary.
And you're both gonna eat it. And you both have. Matt has. He is a physically fit person,
Right.
And he has chosen almond milk, which you didn't need to bring that. We have about 7 of those left upstairs.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah. From Costco.
Yeah.
And Jason, you went to Aldi's and got a generic half-gallon of chocolate milk.
No, this is Prairie Farms. This is from Schnucks right here in Pekin, Illinois. Schnucks may be the most depressing grocery store I've ever been to.
The one in
right
Pekin?
here in Pekin,
Yeah,
Illinois.
it is.
I don't think I've ever been
Do not do it.
in. No.
Yeah.
No.
And so this is supposed to curb the heat-seeking feelings.
Well,
Curb and coat.
today is the beginning of the season-long game show pilots that we're going to watch, and today is Crossword. So Matthew and I are going to play a crossword game after eating this, and
Okay.
we're each going to be asked a question, given a clue, and if we can answer correctly, we will be able to take a drink
Yes.
from our liquids that hopefully will coat and help
So
diminish the
every
heat.
time you get a wrong answer, you can't take a drink, and the pressure is going to build up in.
That's right.
All right, and
He's
you
gonna,
do
he's
have
gonna own me. I know the nature of the crossword. This is going to be brutal.
and you do have a garbage can between the two of you. So if somebody throws up, right?
It's our own personal vomitorium. That's
Okay,
correct.
all right.
So okay, let's talk about the box. It's black and red. It's got a flaming skull on the front. So some of the flames are made of peppers. You see at the very top.
Sure enough.
It says one chip challenge, Carolina Reaper plus Szechuan heat.
Now, can we share, Jay, that just a quick detour here? Jay and
Please.
I, we have danced with a Carolina Reaper before.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that?
Were you going to bring it up?
Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
if this is premature. We had like I'll call it like a small cookout on like a Sunday afternoon, and I don't remember how the Reaper got to the. Did you bring that? Did you have it?
Yes, I would frequent the Peoria area riverfront farmers market, and towards the end of that season, usually sometime it's September, the later in the season it got, the more likely you were to see kind of these more rare and very hot peppers. I think they let those peppers grow as long as they can in the season. Sure. And at that time, I believe the Carolina Reaper was number 1 on the hit list for spiciest peppers in the world.
My brother actually has grown a Carolina Reaper plant from a seed, and he in his house he kept one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like on the Scoville chain, like Carolina Reapers, pure, I guess,
Yes.
are at like the bottom end of the spectrum for weapons grade pepper spray.
Yes. Yeah. He wouldn't touch them with his bare
No,
hands.
no.
And I don't really think you guys should touch these chips with bare hands, but yet I don't have any gloves.
I forgot gloves. I usually bring gloves for this kind of thing. I totally forgot them, so we're going to have to be smart.
Here we go.
Yes.
Did we get some paper
do
towels?
not touch
Would you like
your
me to
eye.
get some paper towels?
If you want, yeah, go ahead and do that if you want. But Matthew and I had...
Safety first.
Safety first, then teamwork. That's exactly right. Matthew and I went to our buddy's house for like Sunday afternoon football, and I think I had made some salsa, and I had one of these little peppers, and the Carolina Reaper is like a shriveled little booger the size of a grape. It's just this hollowed out, shriveled little piece of crap engineered in a lab to make it as hot as possible thing. And I took this tiny little pepper, and I chopped it up, and I think I diced up like about a fourth of it. It wasn't even the whole thing. It was just like a
No,
fourth
it wasn't
of
the
it.
whole thing. No.
And then I took a couple of big heaping tablespoons of my salsa that I make, which is very mild. And then I added just a little bit of this Carolina Reaper. We mix it in, and we said, let's try it. Let's give it a shot.
What's the worst that could happen?
We found out.
Yeah, we really did. Honestly, I'll never forget this because I walked in. I was pacing outside, maybe in the garage area, because this was like a cookout out on the driveway.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and your brother was in the kitchen. I remember him standing there, and I look over, and you've got your hand going into a tub of ice cream, and you're scooping directly out of the tub and into your mouth,
Yes.
trying to
I had purchased ice cream in anticipation
the
of something
heat.
like this happening. So maybe there was a part of me that just automatically went to it. But I do remember being in a fair amount of pain and the heat being like on the back of my tongue. Because I was scooping with like 2 or 3 fingers this ice cream and shoving it into the back of my mouth.
That's the part I don't. I just remember the whole handful. I don't remember where
mercy.
it burned. I just remember that it.
But it's
it-
only
it
a
burned good.
temporary relief. It's only a temporary relief.
Anything at that moment, even a temporary relief, is would do quite a bit for you. But yeah, that's the experience that I've had before with the Carolina Reaper. I've done other hot pepper things in the past before. Oddly enough, with Matthew here, but that's the most recent. That's been a few years now. But let's continue to look at the box. On the back, it has a warning. Do you want to read the warning, Matt?
Sure, I'll go ahead here. This is straight off the box. Do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers, nightshades or capsaicin, or are pregnant or have any medical conditions. And they do say any medical condition. I mean, good grief. Keep out of reach of children after touching the chip. Wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes. That really is. I mean, they need to underline that part. Or other sensitive areas.
Like your wee-wee.
Very vague. Seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing, fainting, or extended nausea.
How are you going to seek medical assistance if you've fainted? That's my.
Well, you should. It should say on there that you shouldn't try to eat that alone with nobody else around.
Okay,
Kinda
that's a good idea.
Yeah, like swimming alone. Yeah, you don't want to do
You
that.
don't want to swim alone.
No.
Way to go, Boy Scout!
Yeah.
The Reaper shows no mercy, it says. There's some nutritional facts. The ingredients I'll read real quick. Blue corn, sunflower and or safflower oil, Carolina Reaper pepper, scorpion chili pepper, sea salt, activated charcoal powder, chipotle pepper powder, Szechuan pepper extract. That's everything that's in it.
Ooh.
Out of Austin, Texas. How about that?
Yeah, I am. I'm getting increasingly nervous as we're talking.
Well,
There's quite the preamble here.
open the
So,
box,
yeah.
boys. Open the box.
Top of the box says it's on. Bottom of the box says warning. It hurts like hell. I am inclined to believe that.
So there is a possibility that we won't finish this show. That is a possibility.
I would say that.
think so, yeah.
By we, all three of us, but you could probably take us all away.
Carry the show, Blake.
Yeah.
Can I see the handout that came with it there? Do you have there? Is that like do you get a free sticker? 2020, the real pepper heat. How long can you last before throwing in the towel? Okay, here. This is something. If you don't mind.
Please, yeah, read it up, man. This is the paper insert that came out of
Right.
the box.
How long can you last before throwing in the towel, which means eating or drinking anything? 5 minutes, you're a featherweight. 10 minutes, you're a lightweight. 30 minutes, you're a middleweight. And in 1 hour, you're a heavyweight champion. So, and look, guys, you got a coupon for a free bag of
Body bag?
of chips.
A free body bag full of chips.
Whole body bag.
So, yeah, so it's the Grim Reaper kind of with boxing gloves on, and that's how you determined how you rank. So I'm interested to see how you rank as well. Become a champion. So, guys,
I don't know if I'm going to go a whole hour. After
that was not the plan.
Yeah. I mean, okay, cards on the table. This is going to ruin like my next day and a half.
Sure,
This
yeah.
will.
Yeah.
I've made a conscious decision to throw away this portion of my life.
okay, all right.
For a bit.
There is a coupon here for a bit. That's exactly right. There's some imagery of death with his black face, black robe.
Whoa! It's just
It's Al Jolson as the Reaper. Yeah, I mean, it's up to Matt and our collective knowledge of TV apparently to determine how long we will go without it.
I'm gonna get owned.
I did not. All I told him to do was look up a thing. I didn't tell him.
No. That's right.
And I can, if you want, since you are the guest.
No.
Let's
go with it.
I can read the categories if you want.
Honestly, I didn't come in here thinking this was a competition between me and Jay necessarily. It's just
not even. It isn't
it's
really.
Just, we're just gonna competition.
We're just gonna
with
mistreat
whatever
ourselves.
This is. Yes.
Our bodies are temples, and we are choosing to pee on them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Did you read the rules for the challenge?
Oh no, I did not.
Okay, it says, "Do you dare to go head to head with the Reaper?" And then here are the rules of the challenge. It says, "Eat the entire chip." Number 2, wait as long as possible before drinking or eating anything afterwards. And number 3, post your reaction on social media with hashtag #OneChipChallenge and mention @PockyChips. I'm sure we won't do either of those, but we are about to open this up. Are you? What do you got over there?
well,
A sticker. Okay.
Okay.
So do you have? Because as soon as we eat this, I want to start that content.
Right.
I want to start.
So
that
I just want to
crossword.
go real quick. This is how it's going to go. I have a crossword.
It's gonna be brutal.
I have a crossword ready to go,
Yep.
and it is TV titles or TV shows. And basically, I'm going to say, okay, Jason gets the first one. I'm going to say pick 1 through 70, and then I'll say, okay, 70 across is a 3-letter word, and the clue is blah blah blah.
Yep.
All right. But what also has to happen is you have to tell me how to spell it so I can put it in there right. Just to make it a little harder for you to focus.
Oh gosh.
Mercy. I'm not a good
Okay.
speller as it is.
Please, gentlemen, keep your hands clean. We do have the baggage. The baggage boy has come into the cockpit.
Just to bear witness.
Do an Eli.
For safety purposes, Molly said, go down there, and you're the one that has to call the ambulance if you're given the warning.
So the chip comes in a kind of a rectangle. It's a rectangle chip encased completely on its own in a packaging, a piece of plastic. It says Pocky One Chip Challenge 2020. It's got the skull and crossbones. It's got a little part where you can tear.
Yep.
And I have opened mine.
Whoa.
I took an extra probiotic this morning
Did you?
for this.
What does a probiotic do?
It That's right.
The chip is as black as night.
Oh,
I'll
is
tell
it?
you that.
It is black. So I watched someone eat this. I cheated. I watched someone eat this on YouTube.
I have not done that.
It was ugly.
I have
Did you know what to do to him after that thing?
I knew what to do, tubes.
I've exposed the entire chip.
Oh, mine
I-
is broke
Mine-
into a couple pieces here.
Mine
That
is
could be to your advantage.
largely one piece, thankfully. I will say that there was a smell
Okay.
coming off of it.
My wife said she wouldn't even smell this.
Ugh.
That's how.
Okay. What do you think? Are you ready?
Give me a moment here because I actually touched my neck. Yeah.
It's fine. I'm going to use the wrapper as kind of a barrier between my fingers and the chip.
So I've got a couple pieces, so you have to bear with
This
me
is
here.
what mine looks like right here. I'm full. Okay.
Mine's broken. A few pieces.
That's fine.
Down there.
You ready? And then we're gonna have Blake pretty quickly. We'll start with Matt, and then we'll go over to me. We'll go back and
Okay.
forth answering, and every question that we get right, we are able to take a drink from the liquids that we have brought. I brought the chocolate milk. You brought the almond. You ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
I hate when people eat on the microphone. All right, these guys are sucking them down right off the bat. I think they're just trying to get it into their system, out of their hands. Matt has completely and put his in. All right. Jason is already having some troubles. They're very, very quiet, which is great. For once, they're pretty quiet, and they're doing a very good job of wiping their hands off prior to touching themselves.
Safety first.
Safety. Ooh, the first words have come out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start. Jason.
Hurry
Matt,
up.
Matt. You get to go first. Are you struggling already? Shit. Okay. This is a 5-letter word across. The clue is Sheriff's Star or Detective Shield.
Sheriff Star or Detective Shield.
5-letter word.
It's a TV show.
This is bad.
Pretty bad, Jay.
No,
He's-
it's not a TV show. It's a word.
What's the topic again? It's just a word.
Yeah, what's a sheriff's badge or a sheriff's
Badge.
Yeah, but I don't know how to. Okay, I'll give it to you. All right, you can take a drink.
Oh, I can take a drink.
No, you can't. You got it wrong. No, you got it right. Go ahead.
I'm already drinking.
No, you can't. You didn't even follow the rules.
You have no idea the hell.
You're, Matt seems to be handling this a lot better. All right. What is let's see, 3-letter word? Happy hour place. 3-letter word. Happy
Bar.
Ooh, that's B-A-R. Good job. Oh,
A paper towel.
okay. Matt.
Bad idea.
This is
Mother of pearl.
a 4-letter word. Be a crybaby. 4-letter word. Be a crybaby.
Wuss. W-S-S.
W what?
W-U-S-S.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shit.
Oh my god.
I don't like how this thing goes.
This is killing me.
I think that's incorrect. Okay. Let's see. This is hard. This app is hard to use. Okay, this is a 4-letter word. 4-letter word for the very best.
Things are tingling.
You guys are really antsy. Jason, your eyes are pretty shot to hell.
What's the question?
The very best. 4-letter word for the very best.
I don't know.
All right. I guess go ahead and. Okay, here you go, Matt. How's that almond milk?
Chugging it.
Your eyes are a little red too,
I
but
felt that for a second.
not as
I have-
bad as he looks. He looks like.
I think
he's-
the pain is plateaued.
Now, where's your pain at? Like, where is your pain mostly? Quickly.
Oh, you mean where?
Yeah.
Sides and back of the tongue.
Okay, and Jason,
Yeah,
back of the
he went all
throat?
the way back.
he is now blue.
I'm not throat. I'm tongue.
You know what? All right, numbers. Okay, 16. Shit.
It sucks.
16 across, 4-letter word
Eli, it's good knowing you, bud.
for a coin in France or Spain.
A coin and a franc.
All right, good job.
F-R-A-N-C.
Yeah.
Cindy Lauper, Ballad of Blank and Joe. And that is,
If your ankle tingles, is that good?
that means that you broke it.
Yeah, I think I broke it.
A 4-letter word, Cindy Lauper's Ballad of Blank and
I
Joe.
don't know that one.
Okay, you can't take another drink now.
Taking a bunch of drinks.
Oh, don't let air in, Jay. It oxidizes. That's no good.
Okay, 50 down is a 6-letter word. Thar she blows. It's 3 words. Thar she blows. 3-letter word. 6 letters.
6 let.
6
that again.
letters. 3 words
Oh, I
for
see.
Thar she blows.
Pass.
Oh, okay. Didn't know what you were doing. All right.
Managing.
Yeah. Jason, has it hit your stomach, or is it strictly in the throat area?
Tongue.
Tongue?
It's the back of my tongue. It's really bad.
It's really bad?
It's the back of my tongue.
Is this worse than the stuff that you made the one time?
I don't remember. I think it's about
Yeah,
the same.
I think I've blocked some of that.
Now, how long do you think this is going to last?
Good 30 minutes.
Tough to say.
All right, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll try to move along with the show.
The left ankle. That's weird.
That is weird. Have you had surgery on that or anything?
I've had surgery on the leg.
That could be
I
it.
think I've reactivated.
You reactivated the injury.
Right.
This is a 7-letter word for one who's no longer popular.
That's all you, Jay.
Matt, your lips are... Yeah, this is just a free-for-all now if you guys want to just take a stab.
Say again.
It is a 7-letter word for one who's no longer popular.
Very well.
Disgraced. I don't even know how many words that is, letters that is. That's got to be like 8 or 9.
You have to type it in to see if it's right.
Yeah.
It's a time suck.
It's a time. Jay, even if he stops the bit, we live with this now.
Well, I think
It's part of us.
This is a very
God, it's awful.
difficult app to use.
Mine is de-escalating a little bit.
Okay, so you're coming down.
I'm
you
off.
feel-
I'm heading down the mountain.
Now that's a half a gallon of almond milk, correct? Roughly.
It's not a half gallon, is it?
32 fluid ounces, 1 quart.
Where-
So 4 quarts to a gallon. Yeah, it's a quart.
He's trying to show off like he can random.
Look at me, volumize over here. Yeah.
He remembers measurements of liquid.
I can see through.
So are you about? You can see.
I can see right through Eli.
How much of that have you drank? Probably half of
Probably
it.
in here
No,
somewhere.
really.
Yeah. I'm feeling. I'm actually. I'm not here to. I'm not showboating, but I probably. The worst might be behind me.
Okay. You think so too? You now, Jason, you got a little like red and blue, which was kind of concerning for a second.
Sure.
Asphyxia. Yeah, oxygen started going elsewhere.
Yeah.
To his penis. Okay, and you guys have wiped your hands off real well.
Are you aroused off it? Oh boy.
I'm hard as a rock. I could cut glass right now.
I love pain. I love pain. Well,
I think this is getting better.
you know what? Maybe you guys are more manly than I expected, or you also didn't follow the rules. Of
No,
the
we didn't
channel.
follow. We couldn't follow the rule. I couldn't anyway. It was
it
unbelievable.
was gonna get bad.
It was unbelievable.
But
I'm blue. Do parts of me look blue?
you're like your
there was like a
forehead-
very light shade of blue going on for a second.
But now you guys seem
terrifying.
like you're ready to go rock and roll. So
It still burns.
Lock and load, baby.
ding dong.
You want to move along with
Yep.
the show?
Let's see.
Let's make sure we. That
Do you want to pause? for-
gets to your eyes. It's okay.
Yeah. Do you want to pause so everybody can wash their hands?
Do you mind if I rinse these off real quick?
All right. So you guys had a couple minutes
That's your
to.
body trying to turn the heat
to
down.
Probably.
it is.
Did we already do this? I think we
No,
did, right?
No, we didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seat
I honestly didn't know whether almond milk was going to work.
Did it?
It worked.
Jason has now put his coat on. He has the shivers.
It's gone full circle.
I think I got COVID.
Chip gave me COVID.
COVID 21, baby. I just developed
strain.
a new strain right here. That's right.
Oh, let's send it over to the UK. They did it to us.
A brother like me's creating some strains.
All right. Are you going to be able to function?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, until like you were talking about, until like really gets in my stomach.
Yeah, because
so
I'm waiting for the end of this show when like you guys are like hunched over, like it's,
we got a window.
Like it's colon blow.
Yeah,
Well, no, just like when it gets into your esophagus area.
this is our esophagus right here.
Okay, when it gets below your south of your esophagus,
The stomach.
If that's where his is, though, that's not good.
Yeah, hold on. Where's your esophagus?
between my legs.
We should get Dr. Turek on the line.
Yeah, let's get a
He's a men's health specialist.
physician here. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Crossword from the year of our Lord 1966. Now that was a great year.
Yeah, back in 1966, I was -9.
Negative 15 right here.
Nice.
-16.
Wow, you guys are still can do math. That's great. Matt was showing
is
off
insane.
doing his liquid measurements.
Matthew
earlier.
just had a birthday too.
Yeah, he did on the 5th.
How about that?
Right?
Close. 17th.
17th.
My wife's
It's
the
on the
16th.
16th,
My
yeah.
wife,
Ooh,
Pretty
nice.
good.
she is the 16th.
Now,
And
did
I
you,
follow that right up on the 17th.
so, never mind.
No?
No, I
What?
No, I know better. I'm changing my ways.
I do.
Are
have
you
a
going? Do you
question.
want to ask us how we celebrated
I was gonna say
for the last
I was gonna
16
say-
years?
I was gonna say, do you start at like 11:58 and end at 12:04 so you both get to celebrate?
I usually can't last that long.
Hey, welcome to the club, brother.
Amen.
My question is going to be: you're doing a fast right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why? Why? First of all, I want to know why. I mean, is there a reason for it? Is it just to push yourself, or you're in preparation for?
No, the fast is actually so it's of a spiritual nature.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So for us, it's sponsored by our church. That makes it sound like there's money behind it. There's not.
It does make it sound like that.
It's not. There's no money behind it, but it's a 21-day fast. No sweets, no dairy, no meats. It is based off of a Daniel fast, an account, very familiar story. excuse me,
He could only eat lions.
in the Old Testament,
Is that right?
where they tried to get eaten by a lion. No,
They tried to.
No.
I would think that'd be really easy to get eaten by a lion.
The account is that the king had taken Daniel and his friends into his company, and he had more or less said, "Give them the best food, give them my finest foods. They're going to be some of my strongest men." And Daniel basically pulls one of the king's, I don't know, waiters or chefs aside, and he says, "Hey, look, dude, we're not going to eat that. We're going to eat fruits, vegetables, water, and then after 10 days, let's see how we are and how they are." And it wasn't even close. But and from this perspective, it's not for the physical benefits, but it's more for the spiritual benefits.
All right.
Yep.
Is that the story of Meshach and Abednego?
That would be in the furnace, but yes,
Okay.
yeah, with Nebuchadnezzar and being thrown in a
So
furnace. Yeah.
the guy says the guy that was just eating the water, the fruits, and the vegetables.
Daniel.
He was healthier after those 10 days than the guys that were eating everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're Daniel, and I'm Mike Mitchell.
You're King Nebuchadnezzar. Let me ask you this: is there, like you said, this is an annual thing? Do you ever say, "I'm gonna wait till after my birthday so I can really enjoy"?
So
Did you say, "Hey,
that's a really good question.
Pastor,
so for
can
me,
we just knock this back a couple of days?"
So that's a really good question. So in past 21-day fasts, I've talked to Jay about this before offline, but so fasting has been part of my spiritual walk for a long time, but I was not actively avoiding the January fast. It just wasn't part of my part of my personal walk.
Okay.
But this particular time, I said yes to it. Last year was a really tough year. And just in full transparency, it was hard to stay centered on my faith. So coming out of it, I said, you know what? I'd like to find center again. And this was my path to do so.
So you haven't always participated in the January fasting?
In the January,
Okay.
No, mostly my fasts have been full abstinence from food for 24 hours or 36 hours or something along that line. And during that time, it's very focused on prayer, worship, and just growing closer and putting the physical man aside and the inner man ahead.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you took a look at the chips, and you said, "Hey, these meet the requirements of what I can
Yeah,
actually."
Jay and I
eat."
were texting offline that this is about as close as it gets, and live to tell the tale.
Ooh, mercy!
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of a burning in my mouth, still not bad. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I am kind of awaiting the
How the chills
fallout.
have the chills.
I'm ice cold.
And and like you said earlier, that could be because his body's trying to cool itself off.
Our bodies are it absolutely could be a response to turning the temperature back
And
down.
this kind of stuff happens like when you're doing your tough man things.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, your body is saying, "No, we need to stop doing this. We have to treat this."
I may have mentioned this before, but honestly, the most bizarre physical response I had was that there are just parts of the day, especially the Louisville race, that I just don't remember.
Right.
And I am convinced that is some kind of defense mechanism
Sure.
from my mind.
Yeah, your brain is going, okay.
We're just
you're
gonna
gonna
shut this off.
If you're
Yeah.
going to torture yourself, your legs are going to work.
We're shutting
your
down.
arms are going to
Yeah.
work, and everything else is.
It's your body saying, "Hey, all auxiliary power needs to go here."
Right.
We don't need to remember any of this.
That's fair.
Just
That's fair. There are complete time lapses of that day where you'd think it would be something, oh, I'm never going to forget this. And there certainly are parts of that, and that's why pictures and family and friends are there. But there are parts of the actual race just gone.
Yeah, there's
Probably for the best.
a guy I used to work for at CAT named Spencer. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. And,
Spencer Swearigan.
yeah, right. And he does like heavy duty, like
He
like
does,
100
the
mile
ultra runs, yes.
100-mile runs.
Yes.
And we had a fresh-faced young boy in our group, and he took interest in this, and his name was Blake Shemansky.
Oh.
And Spencer is like, "Hey, I'm going to do this 100-mile race. It's around McNaughton Park. It's 10 miles around the park, and then I do that 10 times. I'm an insane person. I'm crazy." And then Blake says, "I would love to come see you, crazy ass." And so he did. And Blake ran around once with him, 10 miles.
Yep.
And later he said to Spencer, "Like, man, that was crazy. I don't know how you did that. That was nuts. That was really interesting. I'm glad you invited me. I had a great time doing it." And Spencer
remember
says,
this now.
"I don't remember seeing you."
Wow.
And it was 10 fucking miles, and he
Wow.
doesn't remember seeing them.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
It's the truth.
After a while, your body just has to go into muscle memory, survival mode. Everything that is not essential, including your memory, it just goes by the wayside to keep your body moving because you are insane enough to tell it to do so.
Right.
That's fair. It's kind of cliche, but that whole idea that the mind over matter, and that is it's a genuine representation of it. Your mind is going to go, hey, let's do a magic trick where you don't remember any of this.
Right. And that happens like when people have traumatic experiences.
Oh my gosh. Then unfortunately, in those particular cases, it shows up in forms like PTSD.
Sure. Right.
And thankfully,
you never know. Someday you could be like 65 and you're rocking your grandbaby.
And I just go glassy eyed.
And no, you just stand up and start running and you think you're in Louisville. And that baby's just going and they're like, Grandpa, what are you doing? He's like, we got to get to the finish line. We got to get to the
14 hours to go.
You're going to swim on my back.
Unbelievable.
A very strong, physically strong man, very spiritually strong man.
Yes.
Mentally strong man. This guy right here. That's why I look up to him and disappoint him every day.
Well, I can tell you one way that
He
he's
knows
very
that's
weak.
not true.
You want to know one place he's very weak?
Between the knees.
Right between the knees. When it comes to a little candy I like to call Swedish fish.
Oh gosh, Jay knows it. The sugar cane. I know my limits. Well, maybe I shouldn't say I know them. I've learned my limits the hard way.
No, you've mastered it. It's one place where you like to
Indulge.
delve, where you indulge pretty deep when you want, but you can shut it off. Like
The chickpea shuts it off. That's my hack.
Chickpeas.
The chickpea.
What?
It's
classic garbanzo.
The classic garbanzo bean. Now, I don't know if anybody's put this in like a medical journal or anything, but my experience, and it is documented, is that the chickpea, and when I started racing, I had to part ways with, and I was in good shape, but I wasn't in racing shape.
Sure.
And there's a difference.
You didn't have 4 on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
And a Hemi in there.
Oh gosh. Well, I would take mixing bowls. When Heather and I first got married, I would have mixing bowls full of cereal. I mean, kind of like the sugar, like the most sugar.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And like the generic sugar. And I could do a whole podcast on cereal. But anyway.
Someone did, I think, right? Cereal? Wasn't Cereal a very popular podcast?
There you go.
You missed the boat, buddy.
Yeah, that was the pod. Some call it the first pod. It wasn't, but some people, it was so popular. Some people call it the
there
first.
There you go. But anyway, to bring it all full circle, I had to part ways with that. And I thought that was going to be the hardest part. But I fell in love with the chickpea trying to eat clean and race. And believe it or not, it's well documented. I'm sure I could find it. That chickpeas shuts off a drive for processed food. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to cure my itch for all sugars necessarily, but it really did. It helped. It helped shut down the drive for me to inhale an entire bag of Swedish fish.
Huh.
I can stop eating sugar when I want to, but like I do enjoy it. But I won't go nuts on a whole bag of something. But I did just make a whole mess of chickpea engine food, and it's fantastic. But I didn't realize that. You've probably told me that before, but I didn't realize it's actively helps you shut down your desire for sugar.
Yep. And so even if it was a placebo effect, it kind of worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, let's get back on track here. Waiting for our guts to explode. 1966. Let's go back there. In our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about some things that happened that year so we can properly understand Crossword, in which the time that it was created.
Right, because we can't look at this pilot from 1966 and judge it based on 2021. We've seen a lot of stuff happen.
So much has happened.
There are things that that wasn't around in 1966.
Of course.
I know for a fact there was no such thing as a chickpea in 1966.
Genetically engineered, same people who would later go on to make such abominations such as the Pepper X and Carolina Reaper.
We also...
Almond Santo.
Santo.
You know what? He was a good third baseman. I'm not a Cub fan, but he was a good third baseman until he lost his leg. But they also didn't have almond milk. Nobody thought to squeeze an almond and get milk out of it.
No one knew that there was a loose tie between nuts and mammals,
Right.
and that the almonds have mammary glands that produce milk.
Mammograms.
That's right, mammograms.
And they
Western Union.
Yeah, in 1966 they didn't have a lot of the technology television wise.
Yes, that's true.
CGI, lighting, and even the cameras. They're digital cameras today.
Right.
We can't judge this pilot based on the fact that there's digital cameras. And I know that somebody hurt themselves during the taping of this and needed a Band-Aid. Guess what? They didn't even have them back then.
No, you're basically left with an open wound, praying to God Almighty that you didn't get infected and had to amputate.
What was the average lifespan in 66?
32.
I think easy. I was gonna go sub 32.
If you made it past 32, you're knocking on death's door with a heart attack.
Right.
It was all butter and beef back then.
And martinis.
Oh my gosh, martini when
bourbon.
you wake up.
Wasn't that the 80s? No, I don't know my periods when it comes to alcohol.
You wear a suit and tie and a suitcase. You go to work, and when you come home, you put down the suitcase and you pick up a martini that your wife hands you,
Yep.
and you put your foot on an ottoman.
And then you get the newspaper out and you wait till that bitch gets dinner done.
You have a pipe, right? Smoke
Yep.
your pipe.
And
Smoke
then
your opium pipe.
You go over there, you eat, you act like you want to talk to your kids for about 20 minutes.
You don't want to.
And then when you get done eating, you just get up from the table and go back into the living room, get back on that recliner and read. Don't go. You're not watching TV. You know,
Right. You're not washing dishes.
No,
You're not helping with the
I'm like,
homework.
you're reading a book.
Yes.
Maybe you're going over some contracts from last night, the earlier in the day. But you're not going stepping foot into that kitchen.
No, that's not.
You know what? The wife doesn't say nothing. She just does it.
That's right.
God, I miss those days.
Did you ever live in those days?
When he was negative 9 years old.
I wish I had.
1966, February 4th, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree becomes the first Winnie the Pooh featurette to be released by Walt Disney Productions in the United States.
Winnie the Pooh, cuddly little tubby little. Who's your favorite character?
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
I can relate to Eeyore.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a nice.
You remember Eeyore?
I'm going to go with Eeyore. But I'm trying to think of another character.
He's got his tail is nailed to his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a life.
He was so depressed. He was so blue.
He reminds me of Snuffleupagus. You know, Snuffleupagus is always like, "Hey, bird."
But I don't think that
I was going to say, that's a Sesame Street,
Yeah,
right?
he wasn't depressed. I think he was just like a big and oafy. Like he
Okay.
seemed happy. Like when I saw Snuffleupagus, I didn't go, "Oh, that is it's gonna kill itself."
Eeyore was manically depressed.
Eeyore looked like he was just waiting to find a way to kill himself.
He was
We tried with a
seconds
nail.
away from jumping off an overpass.
If they would have had overpasses in the 100-acre woods.
100-acre woods. Look at you. Were you a Winnie the Pooh guy?
I don't recall. Honestly, I don't
Were you
recall.
a Pooh man? A Pooh boy?
Did you ever have Pumas?
I definitely had Pumas, but I don't
Okay.
think I was a Pooh boy.
Did you ever play anybody a game of basketball for their Winnie the Pooh T-shirt?
Not yet.
February 10th, Soviet fiction writers Yuli Daniel and Andrei Savatsky are sentenced to 5 and 7 years, respectively, for anti-Soviet writings.
Crazy. Imagine. I couldn't imagine living in a world like that. I mean, we would be in so much jail for this podcast.
And there wouldn't be enough. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
It does seem like when you start to take away free speech is when things really start to fester.
When it starts to unravel.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like we're getting close to that with the previous administration? I never felt like people were getting jailed or put away for saying things against the president.
But there was an active, and not to go down this, but there was like an active assault on the press, on the free press.
That's true. That's one of the first steps towards fascism.
Yep, you're exactly right. There was a lot of things that reminded you of the beginnings of a fascist state, I think. Mm-hmm. But Twitter shut that shit down.
Gosh, it has been so. I was talking to my sister-in-law about that this afternoon. It has been so nice to have a moratorium on the name we have not invoked yet, not having a Twitter account, a YouTube channel, or a Facebook presence. That has been so nice for 3 or 4 days.
It's been pretty wild. Just as soon as it was declared that he hadn't won again, I felt like he almost fell off the face of the planet. You know, like having lost something, having not come out of something the victor, and nothing that he could really do. He kind of disappeared rather than face and accept defeat. He just kind of disappeared from the consciousness. If you ask me, I know he still definitely came up, but it wasn't nearly as active. He was like, I'll just go golf until I'm done.
Yeah. I'm writing this Steamboat Mary out.
I think he was actively working behind the scenes to try to overturn, investigate, and find a way to stay in power.
I can't imagine why he'd want to. I mean, he looks awful. He's a huge fat guy.
narcissist,
He
though.
going to die soon. He really is going to die soon.
It doesn't look good.
And why spend the last moments?
Because you're a
in that
narcissist.
office?
It's that important to you to be the supreme being.
Oh well. Also in February of that year, both Cindy Crawford and Rachel Dratch were born just days apart, ironically, on the opposite ends of the attractive scale. I'll let you decide who's who.
I'm a Rachel Dratch guy.
Well,
Who's that? Who is that?
You are a minority.
Who is that?
Rachel Dratch is a lady, late 90s to mid-aughts on
She's one of my
Saturday Night
favorites,
Live.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been one for a long time.
She's Debbie Downer on Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
Unless I've got it twisted. Is she not the one in the hot tub with Will Ferrell?
Yeah,
is.
she
Oh,
is.
yeah. That's one of my favorites.
She was good.
She's good.
She was very funny, but
To me, Cindy Crawford, to me, is like...
Cindy Crawford's not funny at all, Blake.
but she doesn't have to be funny. She just keep her mouth shut, make my dinner, and let me do the jokes making.
She is the template for supermodel.
Sure,
if you
yeah.
ask. Like
Oh,
to me,
gosh.
because I grew up
mold.
watching her like on House of Style and MTV. Like in my young eyes, like she was the biggest thing when it comes to modeling ever.
And she still was classy. Like that.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
she had-
that was she had
Seemingly
class.
so, yeah. Oh, what a beauty! Good Lord,
Hey, high five that shit.
nice. Whoops. Matt, why do we choose to watch Crossword? And I'll give you extra points. There's no really points. But
Do I have to eat another chip before?
Yeah, I'll give you extra
before
points
I
if you eat a
answer
second
this?
chip. No, if there's a fourth Phantom reason this season.
Okay. So it must be available online. Must have only had one episode. And it's got to be free, baby.
Awesome!
And let's see. The fourth is it's got to be a game show.
There you go.
How about that?
Chip or no chip?
Tomahawk.
How are Jason? Real quick, describe your comfort level at this time.
Your inner works.
What's the most comfort?
Well, I'm just.
Like, is 10 the most comfort?
Yeah.
I was going to go lower.
Like 9.5.
Really, you're fine,
Yeah, I feel fine.
Matt.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
8.5, 9. Yeah.
We're just in that mid period where it's the food is in our esophagus near our penis, right? Is that what the inner workings of the human body is?
No,
like?
that was his.
Oh,
Yeah.
yours.
That's why we called Dr. Turk.
All right. Yeah, you gotta
Oh, speaking of that,
chews food, swallows it with his urethra, and eventually it comes out his.
speaking of which, just later on, let your wife know that it was my belt, and my wife finally got me a new belt. I got all new pants except like 2 or 3 pairs.
Oh, it wasn't reproductive material?
No, but I do notice that it's not anywhere near as bad.
That is right up Dr. Turk's alley.
Did
is
we
it not?
did we liken the idea that his semen on his stomach could be acidic to the likeness of a reptile from Mortal Kombat?
I think. Well, yes. I think there was like Scorpion was
Yeah.
was mentioned for
You
sure.
guys remember when Scorpion said this?
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
It was your belt. So it was some weird metal rubbing against your gut.
the powder they put on the belt?
The what?
So was it powdered metal or something like that? That was
Well, I think
bothering
they're,
your skin?
the varnish had worn off or whatever, and the actual metal to skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's. I just want. I figured your wife was probably concerned.
She'd asked about it
Every day.
more times than I was comfortable with.
So where can you find the entire episode of Crossword for yourself? We can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Matt.
You'll know what to do, Tubes.
Flight attendants.
I feel pretty good. Feel pretty good right now.
I've got a little. It might be unrelated. No, I think I'm okay.
What is it? Is this 1/3? You think I drink 1/3 of the milk?
Yeah.
2/5, 1/3.
I think you're in the. It widens towards the base, so you're probably more in the 2/5 range.
Okay, and that was a half gallon of chocolate milk. I tell you what, when I was drinking it didn't even taste like chocolate milk.
I bet it didn't.
Is it? Do you have any kind of flavor from that? Like when you? Like,
It's pretty. It's pretty watered down.
Yeah. Ooh, summary of the pilot. Man, remember last week when I read that huge thing about what the summary is of this?
Uh-huh.
Do I have to read the whole thing again?
No, just
Okay.
give us your summary of it.
Crosswords.
Okay, I'll give it A+.
Oh, thank you. Hey, I have interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the part of the show where Jason scours the internet down to his bloody knuckles to find facts about this pilot that you may not know. Please don't share your thoughts or experiences with these facts with anyone else. Don't taint someone's experience. Just listen and enjoy. I feel like a lot of times you play a whole bunch of sound effects over me when I'm talking so people can't hear me. Is that the case?
Whenever you're ready, explain interesting facts, Blake, please.
Well, Interesting Facts is...
People have an expectation for that quality of the program.
Okay.
And I'm trying to assist with all, like, listen, I don't know if you've ever heard this one before.
A drop quota, too.
Oh, absolutely. Have you heard this one before?
It's a slow burn. Slow burn.
Have you ever heard this one?
Slow bird.
Have I?
He's over here
You
saying...
talking about the Leonard Skinner song,
over here
Slow
saying...
Bird?
No, he's saying slow bird.
Slow bird!
I'm as slow as a bird, man.
I will say that when I was on the set of Utopia at night, I would sing "Dog Police" to myself to get me to rest and fall asleep after hard days of working on the plows and stuff.
After a hard day's night.
Blake missed 7 episodes of the program. He took a radical sabbatical.
Wasn't long enough.
To star in the made-for-television reality show known as the reboot of Utopia.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I still will give anyone $50 cash if they can find all those episodes for me. I cannot find them on the internet.
and you know what? I'm going to add an extra 20 to that. if we
Okay,
can do
I'm
it.
serious because I want to do. We could. Yes.
We'll do a season of Utopia. And take a break from pilots. We'll do a season of Utopia if they can be found.
Yep.
I hope they're not found. All right. Interesting facts. The first attempt at a game show based around crossword puzzles. Fact.
Okay.
2 pilots were made, both hosted by George Fenneman. Fenneman's most enduring role was as an announcer and sidekick for Groucho Marx in over 200 episodes of the popular game show You Bet Your Life. You may also know him from How to Succeed in Business Without Trying, television's Batman, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Fact.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yeah, U.N.C.L.E. I think it was like an organization because when you see it on TV, it's like U period, N period, so on and so forth.
There was periods in it.
Yeah. Pilot A had Carolyn Jones and Michael Landon as the celebrity guests, while Pilot B had Tippi Hedren and Paul Lynde. Fact.
I like Paul Lynde.
He was a gay guy, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he talk? He talked real effeminate. Didn't he?
Sure, and he was very boisterous, and you know, he was like a character actor. I think I remember him, but I don't remember what he was on. I'm sure he was on like I Dream of Jeannie, and maybe, but he was on a lot of shows.
Well, it says
He had a very distinct laugh.
yes, and I think it also said in the course of the pilot that he was also in Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have.
You haven't memorized, committed it to memory? Bye Bye Birdie?
No, I said I wouldn't have known that because I never saw Bye Bye Birdie.
During Pilot B, George Fenneman notes that Paul Lynde will soon be seen in the new Doris Day film Glass Bottom Boat, which is a maneuver I've tried with only a couple ladies.
What maneuver is that?
What maneuver is it?
Yeah.
Well, you get a piece of a large sheet of tempered glass,
Okay.
and then I'll let you fill in the
Okay.
rest. He also notes that Tippi Hedren will be going to London very soon to do a new Charlie Chaplin movie with Marlon Brando and Sophia Loren. The film in question is A Countess from Hong Kong, which began shooting on January 25th, 1965, and was released in 1967. Fact.
She was in a lot of stuff that when he was.
Who, Tippi?
Yeah.
Well, probably most notably, she was in The Birds.
Right, yeah, it was Hitchcock.
Yes. Did you ever see The Birds?
Oh, yeah.
Whew, terrifying.
Who wouldn't have?
Terrifying.
It's not terrifying.
There's
There's a lot of holes in that movie.
Mainly in the eyes where the birds would peck out.
Well, yeah.
That's what would happen there. Remade as Crosswits in 1975 with Jack Clark as the host.
Yeah, famous first baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jack Clark.
The very same interesting facts over. Okay, Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I doubt Jason got some Twitter responses because they're all dead.
Yeah, I didn't get any. They're all dead, I think. Paul Lynn's dead. George Fenneman's dead. There wasn't a lot of people in the program.
Yeah.
I think one gal is with us.
Tippy? Is
Tippy's still
alive?
with us.
Tippy.
I think Tippy's probably north. She's tipping 100 probably, right?
Oh, really?
She's got to be up there.
She was pretty.
Yeah, I don't think she's on Twitter, though.
She was sharp, too. I thought she was one of the
Yeah.
quicker to respond.
was
Maybe she's kept
She
her
didn't
faculties.
she didn't have a lot of confidence in herself.
No.
Let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and we'll break down the entire plot points of Crossword. It was only just over 15 minutes long. Do you want to start us off, Matthew?
Yeah, be happy to. For whatever reason, this is usually the toughest spot for me to rewind all the way back to the beginning. But I remember it kind of just getting fired out of a cannon, but there's not a lot of build-up, or at least to where I would say this George Fenneman gentleman is the one who kind of sets up the rules of the game show. And that's what I remember of the pilot of the last game show that I was on. I think you mentioned it when we were kicking things off.
Twister.
Is that with the pilot episode, they spend a lot of time explaining.
Yeah, you have to teach these people, or the viewers,
Yes.
what's going to happen, what's going to
It's
be
like
going on.
consumer education. So George Fenneman takes some time introducing, of course, the celebrities that are on stage. And I'm sure at that time, the only name that I vaguely knew was
Tippy Hedren?
Tippy Hedren.
Really? You didn't know Paul?
I don't think so.
I didn't know. I don't know the host. I was
Paul Lind. I didn't know.
You
him.
bet your life. I've heard of that. I knew it was Mark's brother situation. I didn't realize that George Fenneman was a part of that. But you got a kind of fun animated intro that looked like crosswords. There is an announcer involved.
Sure.
And there was a live studio audience.
I wonder if there really was. It really looked like stock footage of.
Oh,
like,
really? When they went to the
me,
crowd?
Yeah, it looked like stock footage. And then the first shot they have of the crowd is basically it's almost like there's a larger gentleman in a suit and his wife with him, and it's like they're standing there and the camera starts to record them, and then it's obvious they've been given the signal, the whole crowd to like start clapping. So this guy's like, fixing his blazer, and all of a sudden him and his wife are like
I didn't study the crowd. I don't remember how many times I showed him.
I'm a crowd studier. I'm really into crowd studying.
That was your major, wasn't it?
Huh? Oh yeah.
At
Yeah.
ISU? You went
Crowd studies?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never go to ISU.
Right.
If you can't go to school, go to state.
Correct. Right. Tippy Hedren is one of the celebrity guests. She's paired with a fella. I don't remember his name, but
Frank Hamilton.
Frank Hamilton.
And here's what I liked about this is when they were introducing all the celebrity, all these credits, right, blah blah, and then he's like, this is Frank Hamilton. He's a businessman, and that's that's about it. Like here's Polly so and so. She's a homemaker.
Right.
I mean, there was no time. Like you didn't say like,
Oh, no, it went fairly quick.
yeah. I mean, but you could have spent like from where are you from or or something. But it's just like here's your name. Here's the most generic label I can give you
For Tippy, what you mean for the contestants?
for the contestants.
Yeah, for Tippy, they mentioned a handful of like Marlon Brando and a handful of other like well-known actors that she had worked with.
Yeah, and he was very focused on the fact that she was leaving on a plane right after the taping of this.
right.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
she was the female lead and arguably the lead in The Birds.
Sure.
Like she was the main broad. But it was funny that 1966 she's going to work on a Charlie Chaplin film.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Chaplin was probably not making, because he was, famous for his physical acting, his physical comedic roles in silent films. But this is not a silent film era. So was he a director? Do you know back at past that
Maybe
point?
that's what he moved into. Not sure.
Yeah.
But the Marks, the only thing that really tripped for me beyond Tippy was just I wondered if the Marks TV, and I don't know any of the history there, but I was familiar with Groucho Marx a little bit growing up. That was, I guess, kind of a family thing that they would joke about with him. So yeah.
Well, you got Paul Lind also there. He said he's from New Faces and Bye Bye Birdie, and also Glass Bottom Boat. I don't want to get back into what that means.
Sure.
Glass Bottom Boat. It really is. It's none of anyone's
I missed
business.
that. Yeah, I missed that.
Glass
Is that something I should
bottom
be reading up on? Or
You can do some crowd studies on your own time if you want. It's none of anyone's business.
were they doing that in the crowd during this game show?
Don't Google it
That's
at
why
work.
they had to replace it with a stock footage because too much glass bottom boating was happening in the audience.
So he kind of goes through rules quickly again. We see the board.
There's a prize too.
The prize is I hadn't gotten there yet, but they show the board and like there's a big red square that's and it says celebrity. Mm-hmm. That's what and then they go through and the first round the prize is a refrigerator, freezer.
Well, it says celebrity because now I thought it was every answer that you put up there was building around clues to one thing, and that thing this round was a celebrity.
Right.
But the second round they do, I thought he said something like the clues may or not be clues.
Yeah.
So I was like, why?
Yeah.
So it either should
but
be
at
or
the beginning
shouldn't.
of it explained it well, and kind of a spoiler alert to me. George kind of seems to lose it.
Yeah.
And get confused himself throughout.
He does
for sure.
he turns himself around. But what I think he said in any given crossword puzzle, he said there are going to be some that are going to be clues towards guessing the event or celebrity.
Right.
And there are going to be some which are, he didn't even say necessarily meant to mislead, but are just
Words.
not relevant.
Just words.
Yeah, just
Okay.
words.
I may have missed that then. That's fine. But yeah, and a mana freezer. And I love the
These are the worst gifts.
I love the early sexism of TV because he was like the model doesn't come with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But also, I mean, these are things.
Something
If
Bob
you
Barker would
won
say.
them, I mean, these are weigh several hundred pounds. I mean,
Right.
who wants a freezer that weighs 900
And if
pounds?
you're in
You
in
have to go up
Hollywood,
and you're in Hollywood.
you gotta ship it back to Nebraska.
It's not going to work.
Think how many chickpeas you could freeze in a freezer that size. Though.
I eat them too quick to freeze them.
There's also a hidden if you pick the right
bonus word.
Yeah, like if you pick the right line and get that correct and get that word correct, and there is a bonus prize. In this case, I think it's a bunch of suitcases.
It's luggage, and it's of the times luggage
for sure. So, do we want to break down each individual question?
No, I don't think so.
I did write them all down. We don't have to-
I wrote like 2 down.
I wrote them
Yeah.
all down. I wrote the number, but basically, to the team, one person takes a turn. If they get it right, the next person on their team takes a turn, and they go back and forth. They can't help each other.
No.
And but they go
But
back
they're
and forth.
paired up. They're paired up
yeah.
together.
But they can't. If they get one wrong, then the other team starts and goes back and forth. And
It's
I would
a make it take it situation.
yeah,
right?
and I would say that it would be very difficult to sit next to somebody who is on your team and not want to help them.
Not shout out the answer.
Yeah.
There was definitely a point or two when Tippy was like, "I know what it is," and she can't say it.
Right.
To the
Yeah,
guy.
she was sharp.
But yeah, if you get one right, you get to go again. You keep it going back and forth between your teammates until you get one wrong, and then it volleys back over. It's
pure make it, take it.
And every time you get one right, I think you have the opportunity to guess what the
Right,
answer
but
is.
but the thing is that was a very confusing for the contestants. I noticed on this is when they could try to solve it.
And I think it's any time that you answer the line
Right, but
correctly,
they-
you have
but-
an opportunity to say, what are the clues?
That kind of has a
pointing
Wheel of
towards?
Fortune feel to it, right? Where you can guess whatever
Yes.
it is.
Right,
At the,
but I don't think they were very confident in knowing when they could spout something out.
I think
Yeah.
that as many right answers as were given, if you didn't know, if you didn't want to take a stab at what the overall answer would be, you have the host saying, "Do you want to take a guess?" And like you constantly have the host
he
saying
kept
that.
saying that it would cost them, and I didn't write it down. What was it going to cost them if they were wrong?
"Oh, I
It
don't
would,
know."
I guess it would go to the next team.
I feel like he said it though. He said it was going to be more. It was going to be more than that. Than
Really?
just going back over. Yeah, if they guessed and they guessed incorrectly, it was.
Well,
it's that too,
after at the end of first round with words such as kitten, star, sex, it ends up what happens. Bridget Bardot was the clue that was given, or the winner of the clue.
You didn't know Bridget Bardot?
No,
No.
What a babe!
really.
Oh yeah.
So,
Next round.
Frank and Tippy,
Yeah.
they won the first round.
Next round, it's a new prize, and it's a transistor organ.
Yeah, and the
Again. How is this a gift?
right, yeah, exactly. Who's a
Yeah, I mean,
I've been really wanting.
If you play organ in your home church, maybe.
but that's 13% of the total population of the world.
Maybe 0.13.
Yeah, there you go.
But so
What did you have to guess this time?
yeah, the second round was a famous news event.
Yes.
And the bonus prize was a Super 8 movie camera that you stuck the film in and looked through.
Bell and Howell, you bet. Yeah, that's a good one. And so then they go through all the different. There's a ton of different. Here's something they said. 14 down this time says it happens to be the hidden word. It says something about being on an island with Tippi Hedren. The answer was agog.
Yeah.
A-G-O-G. Have you heard that word?
I've
agog?
heard the word, but I didn't remember the meaning.
I didn't really hear the clue very well, so I can't even use context clues to understand. Do you know what agog means?
I'd heard it, but I don't know it.
Okay. I was curious because the guy who didn't seem like he was very good sure pulled a gog out of his ass quick, right? Anyway, got that right, and they go on to win that round too, right?
Yeah, it was. If I'm not mistaken, the rules were like if you won 2 rounds, then you'd come back the next day.
Yes.
There was no championship round. There was no. It was kind of like related to Jeopardy. Like you just kept coming back until you lost.
Full of intense interest or excitement.
Oh, I have some intense interest and excitement for Tippi Hedren on an island. I don't know about you guys. But I think what you just said, Blake, it feeds into a lot of my feedback about the show, and I think we'll get into that right now.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
What are you doing?
I was just getting my notes ready for that.
Why do you do that in front of the mic?
Oh, was I doing it in front of the mic? I'm sorry.
You have like 3 I don't even know why you're using paper anymore. I mean, obviously, Matt and I are using tablets and laptops, and you're using what do you do with all these pieces of paper?
I keep them. I have all my notes for every episode
I remember
we've
you
ever
saying
done.
that. Yeah.
All right, what are you going to do? You're going to compile them into a book and sell them to people eventually? You're going to have it published by Penguin?
Well, I thought when we do our final episode that whoever has the most frequent flyer points, I'll just mail it to them.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Wow.
It's going overseas, I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
I think we need to scan that and create a book.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Yes.
I have some too, but I largely do mine on the computer now. Anyway.
Well, then why would we scan mine? Why don't we just use yours? Just print them off.
No, because there's something more personal about
mine.
you.
Usually have doodles in it, and then you can see how drunk I am by my handwriting.
Love doodles.
It'll tell the story.
We can have a 1 to 7 gauge on each page of your drunkenness. It'd be perfect.
You know what I do? Hey, I would do if I could go back in time about this. One thing I would change about this, or one thing about this show that I would have started keeping a log of our ratings.
A Yule log?
A Yule log. You know what I mean?
We could do that. It wouldn't be hard. All you have to do is start an episode and then go to the end of it.
Yeah, but who's going to sit there and do that? No, I would not do that.
Yes, you are.
I don't even listen to the shows now.
Why not?
Huh?
Matt, why did not Crossword work?
Man, it feels like we blazed right through that.
It was quick, though. I mean, it was
quick.
It was 2 rounds, a little bit of setup, and then the show was over 15 minutes.
I don't know. Honestly, it kind of fits for me. Like, as far as a game show goes, maybe there wasn't enough pomp and circumstance. Maybe there wasn't enough build-up. I felt like it jumped right into it. I grant you there was a little bit of explaining how things work at the beginning, and they drew that out. But when you're winning a freezer and an organ, like nobody in the audience is going, "Oh,
right."
Now, is that what
I got to
happened with
become a
Dr.
celebrity
Turok?
and get on this show." Yeah.
Or, like Price is Right. People see all these big gifts.
That's what I mean.
And
It
they
doesn't-
can't wait. They're not even. It's called. They jump up there and they run
This
up there.
poor generation, if they're getting all hot and bothered about a 900-pound fridge, I don't know. Maybe this chip made me salty.
Heyo.
So you're in a bad
Yeah.
mood now.
Do you think if you would have brought that luggage home for your wife, she would have been like, "Oh, Matthew, thank you. I love it."
Knowing Heather, she's not really a luggage gal. What would she be? She's more of a
Just paper sack.
she's more of a freezer gal.
My wife's more of an 8mm film camera.
Yeah. All right.
What would you improve this show?
For me, I know that after listening to interesting facts and stuff, I know that George had a lot of experience, but it didn't seem like he was comfortable like with the rules. He didn't seem assertive of like, hey, this is. It seemed very, and even when we were going, like one time for the second round, he's like, oh, that number's not in there. He goes, oh, wait, no, that's the card from the last game.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, toward the end, on the round number 2, when Frank Hamilton says, hey, can I guess it? There's a distinct edit cut to a different camera. You could tell they were like, whoa.
This might be too early.
Well,
and we don't have
I think that George didn't know that he wanted to or he could, and there was some confusion. So and then it kind of got so they tried to cut it, and then he's like, yeah, go ahead, and he's like, the Titanic.
Yep.
But
he happened to be right.
But I just think that for me, I liked Paul Lynch. I just think he's funny. His mannerisms, but I think it just was unorganized. I don't think Freeman had he wasn't leading the show. He wasn't the commander of the show.
And that's what you would be.
You would need to be a commander of the show.
Yeah. He seemed kind of, and I just didn't know if this was his persona, but I thought he was kind of like almost agitated with the guests at times. Like he was kind of sharp with them.
I think he was agitated because he didn't understand exactly
I think
what
that
was,
might be.
Yeah.
He seemed kind of sharp.
Because you can't get sharp with Tippy.
No, not well, no.
Oh.
That's what we'll leave that.
I'll echo some of the things you said, Blake. It was unorganized. George Fenneman did not seem comfortable up there. I think he probably had some experience, but this was a new show. He probably wasn't super familiar and comfortable with the format yet. They may have done some practice shows that weren't taped, never aired, and give him a little bit more experience, but still maybe that wasn't enough. I don't like the idea of we're doing 2 rounds and then it's over. They can do rounds, but you're working on a time limit as far as a block of time on TV. So you just keep going. What if I guess it after 3 words?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So the problem is not like the first team to win 2 rounds moves on. No. Each time you answer a question, right, you get a point or some point. And then if you answer if you complete the thing for the round,
you get bonus.
You get extra points. And at the end when the time runs out, then the team with the most goes on to a thing at the end where it's just that team.
Right.
That's what I thought. Yes.
Yeah, that would have been a lot better because when they were, with getting these words, you're just like, oh, well, this crossword is so big. How many of these is going to take before they can figure out who it is? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or what it is. Like, they all seemed astonished that Frank Hamilton said the sinking of the Titanic just from the word lifeboat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically lifeboat
He probably answered it a lot sooner
than they were.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And
what's their plan if he gets in early?
Yeah, tune in next week when our show is exactly 3.5 minutes long. No. Do 20 minutes, but the first 15, 16, it's those teams going head-to-head for as many rounds as it takes to fill up 16 minutes rather than just 2 isolated rounds. Right. And at the end, have something special for the team that has won the game for that show. And then, I don't know, maybe that's it for the contestants. Or maybe the winner does come back. Who cares?
Right.
If the celebrity's available, team them up with the same person again for the next show. If they're not, who cares?
Right, because
Get in a new celebrity.
You're taping more than one show a day.
You're taping 5, 8 a day.
Yeah, so that Tippy can stay there. If her flight's not till 6:30, it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
And even if she can't, get a new celebrity in. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck her, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say that about her. That's funny you said it first. No, I think there are ways to salvage this. I mean, at its core, it is a good idea, but we just don't have the organization and the right pieces in place. Whoops.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and
How you feeling?
I'm
good.
You feeling good?
I'm back, yeah.
Okay.
There was about a 5-minute window there where my
Do you think you're going to throw up? Or you just...
half a second, I felt like that. But then it was just like a
discomfort?
It's like a knot.
No, not.
No.
That's right.
How about you? No discomfort?
Anthrax. No, I feel fine. I'm still worried that later it's going to happen. I'm puke free since 2003, as we know. So I never felt like I was going to vomit. Yeah. But at the beginning it was just awful.
Did you have do you have enough Ziploc bags in the bathroom for a long night?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't you worry about that. I've actually worked on this system at home, so I don't have to leave the bed now, and I'll let you do the math there. Just one more piece of information: they do make a 10-gallon bag now. Ziploc.
Nice.
So, final descent.
Yellow and blue makes brown, right?
I don't like that kind of talk. We're skipping that segment.
What Was there nothing?
You ruined that. There was nothing. Okay. But no, you ruined that segment.
Sorry.
It's not on IMDb. Like it's there, but there's no ratings for it.
I cheated and looked. There was nothing. Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is rarely, if ever, we have anything. I couldn't find any critic or viewer reviews.
Yeah.
There may have been some comments on YouTube, but that's bargain bin bottom barrel bullshit. if you
Wow.
ask me. So I don't usually do that. But what I do, hilarious,
In a Ziploc bag.
10-gallon high five it, is I do rate every pilot that I've seen. Do you want to talk about the rating scale, Blake?
I would be more than happy to. The rating scale is a 1 through 7, based off of the characters of the television show Wings, which we all know, we all love. Get yourself a can of corn and watch it. 1 is the worst. The worst character on that show is a Roy Biggins, and it goes up to 2 is a Antonio Scarpacci.
No.
3 is David Hackett.
No.
Number 4 is a Heather Huckleberry.
Nope. It's not right.
And number 1 is a Brian. Number 7, best you can be, a Brian Hackett.
I mean,
You want to clean that up, Jay?
2 out of 6 ain't
Yeah, go
bad.
fast. Go see how fast you can do it. Go.
Roy Biggins, Faye Cochran, Antonio Scarpacci, Joe Hackett, Bud Bronski, Helen Chappell, Brian Hackett.
I can't believe I forgot Fayetten.
I can't believe you got 2 out of 6 after doing
28 years.
280 episodes. Good
Oh,
Lord.
when's 300? That's coming up, huh?
Who cares?
Oh, okay. Fuck me, right?
Matt, I turn to you. How do you rate Crossword?
How do you rate your cuss words?
How do I rate my cuss words? Underdeveloped. Let's see. I will need a friendly reminder of.
Number 4, it's Brian or Joe Hackett.
Joe.
Yeah, I can't get to a 4. I want to. But I think I'm at a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty low for me. There was just too many failure modes for this. One being, if they keep answering them so quick, are they gonna do 30 crosswords? They have to have something else.
But in my opinion, they would have never gotten through a whole crossword, like even a half of one.
Someone would always guess before it's complete.
Way before.
Yeah.
And-
I guess that's what I mean. It's like they would guess, they would
Yeah.
do 5 more,
yeah.
and then they would guess.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
But there has to be something that it builds up towards. There has to be some kind of lightning round or some kind of thing that the contestants.
Yeah, the winner of the
Yes.
main game goes on to.
Yeah, the host has to be more polished than he was.
Prizes have to be better.
Yeah, the prize. That's
Heavier prizes.
Heavier.
I was gonna go lighter.
No. Heavy.
You want to go
This-
heavier?
People want weight.
Mass.
If you win round
people
3,
want mass.
if you win round 3, you get this Tomb of King Tut.
Yeah, man, I'm really talking myself even out of a 3.
The most dense prizes in all of show business.
Yeah, I think I'm at a 2, guys.
Oh, you,
Let's
I think I'm
do-
at a 2.
we
I
gotta
think I
stop
talked
him right
myself
here.
out of a 3. If I keep going, we're gonna be negative before we know it.
shut up, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go 2.
Captain Philip Restisher, we turn to you. How do you rate Crossword?
I respect you. I respect that. I've talked myself out of a lot of things, and unfortunately, I've talked myself into a lot of things as well.
And he's talked me off a couple times.
I've talked. Oh man, Matt, there's an episode coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Stars one,
Yeah.
which people by the time they hear this would have already heard. But you need to listen to that one.
Okay,
That's all I want to say. It was probably one of the funniest 5 minutes of my life.
check.
So again, the host needs to be leading it. He needs to be confident. He needs to be leading it. He needs to make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's one time I think he's like, the buzzer went off and he's like, "You sure you didn't say the right answer?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Just because she's hot."
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a game show. It's had a lot of problems. I'm gonna give it a dense 3.
Dense 3.
Dense 3.
Right.
Dense 3.
That's right. Okay, well, I will say that I'm going to go even one higher and give it a 4.
Wow.
I like the idea of the game. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. They will never fill out a whole board of all the crosswords, but that's kind of the point because there's a hidden word up there, and that's a hidden prize. Sometimes no one wins the prize. I like that. I like the idea that each round has a prize, but there's also an extra thing that maybe you get, maybe you don't. Maybe like the daily double. I think you have to fill out the board on Jeopardy, so someone eventually does get the daily double on Jeopardy. But I like the idea of a prize that may or may not be gotten. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. The host is not very good. I think he could be. I think if he had some more time and experience doing the show, I think he could be better.
Didn't have so many martinis before shooting started.
He either
That's true.
is or goes on to be, because he has a long tenure kind of in that role on like Mark's TV or whatever that's considered.
Yeah, you bet your life. 200 episodes as like the co-host or the announcer of that show or something. I think he's capable. It did not come through here at all. Tippi Hedren and Paul Lynde, I think, were great pilot guests. So I think there's a lot to like here, but there's a lot more polishing that could be done. So with that, Matt gives it a 2, Blake a 3, and I'll give it a 4. And we will close the book on Crossword, and we will never mention that show again.
Yeah.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Second Guessers. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Hosted by comedian Jack Carter, this game involved members of the studio audience trying to guess the answers people on the street would give to cute questions.
Ooh, on the street game
Like
show.
Jay Leno
People on the
style.
That's right. Do a little jack walking. You can find the entire episode of Second Guessers by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Blake.
You know what to do, too.
Perfect. Oh, boy. I really thought there was a good chance I'd just be a puddle of carbon and nitrogen.
Puddle of Scoville.
I think you guys are getting a little too cocky. I think there's a slow burn going on right now.
But I'm just saying,
It hit me
I thought it
fast.
would have been. I know you've already kind of went through a round of post eating. I haven't done that yet. I know it's coming, but I feel surprisingly good.
That's good. I'm
for having
glad.
consumed that devil chip. Please, did you keep the box?
Yes, sir.
Please,
I still-
please keep it.
Well, but thank you for putting your own hard-earned money down on the line for this experience.
Yeah, like I said, I bought it for something a while ago. It just didn't work out. I was like, I gotta incorporate it in the show.
If I would have known you had spent
I don't
some...
remember. Did you say what you had bought it for? You don't have to share, of course, but
Well, I was going to do it with a lady that I was seeing and my daughter. The three of because I bought 3, so the 3 of us were going to do.
I know
it.
who you're talking about. They can both handle some heat too.
And then my daughter was like, she's like, I don't want to do it. I just talked to her a few weeks ago. I was like, fine, I'll figure out a way to do it on the show. And I can't think of anyone better to have done it with than
Cheers,
Matt.
man.
So I'm glad you agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad we're both not just a puddle of Scoville.
I wish I would have
Puddle
known,
of Smallville.
I wish I would have known this, and I wish I would have known how much they cost, because I would have got you like one of those what's the videos that you get from famous people?
Sex tape.
No.
Oh, Cameo.
Cameo. Yeah, I would have had got
We would have had
Jorge Posada.
I know what that
Cactus
is.
Jack.
No, Jorge Posada.
No one
He's
knows
probably
what that
like
is.
$25.
Exactly.
Cactus Jack was not cheap. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, Mick Foley?
Yeah.
I do feel bad about that.
You never saw it.
I didn't.
Ridiculous.
I didn't know what happened.
Ridiculous.
You saw it on the YouTube video though, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, I saw it after the
You've
fact.
since seen it, yeah.
Yes.
There's some on there like $10. Have some self-respect.
Right. Hey, maybe we should do it for $10 a pop.
Fine. Thank you for being on the program, Matthew.
As
always,
always.
guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always fun, and we made it to our destination, Jay. There was some real doubt there for a few moments.
I was worried about you for sure. There was when I saw you blue and red at the same time.
There was a shade of blue that was
Patriotic, yeah.
kind of
like oxygen is
just for a moment,
yeah.
like almost like you were holding your breath.
Really? I can assure you I wasn't.
Something
Wow.
was holding something.
That's nuts. Yeah, I wish I could have seen that. I wish I could have seen my own face. Anyway, go to couchpilotspodcast.com. It's a website that we own. No entity, foreign or domestic, can take that away from us. It has all of our programs from episode number 1 to the most recent one, including this one. Go back and listen to anything you like. We're also available on all other
Podcast apps.
yeah, all of them. We're
Yeah.
on all of them. And then we're also on Facebook,
Spotify.
and Twitter.
Twitter,
2 weeks in a row, I said.
man. Instagram, we got hot ass, but Instagram.
We're not on Instagram.
Twiddler.
Twiddler, that's right.
No.
Blake, anything you want to talk about or promote at the end of the program here?
Yeah, message of gambling positivity. I told
that's right.
Yeah,
You're going to have tips for us.
every episode this season, I'm going to have one gambling tip.
10 episodes a season, all game shows, and you've got some hot tips.
First hot tip: if you're going to the casino, you ask yourself, "Oh, should I go on the boat or should I go to the casino?" The first thing you should say is, "Are all my bills paid for this month?" First and foremost.
Okay.
Because if they're not,
Are you saying this to someone?
no, no, you say it to yourself.
He's
You're
saying
like,
this to past Blake.
no, I'm just saying.
You walk in and you.
No, you don't even go there. You have to answer this
Oh,
before
you're
you
saying
leave
before
the
you
house.
leave. I thought you were like finding an attendant and asking them,
No,
"Are all my bills paid?"
I
saying-
I don't know.
this is
I'm
a
not sure I
tip.
can answer that for you, sir.
This is a gambling tip. If you don't have all your bills paid for that month, don't think about going to the boat or going to the shady dark corner of the bar.
That's right. Don't think about it. Just do it.
No, I'm
Don't put any thought into it.
trying to help people.
This is a.
I'm sorry.
Now I feel like you're gonna shit on every one of my
Whoa,
tips.
hey,
We're editorial.
What, I look like
We're
a
helping-
Ziploc
yeah.
bag to you?
35.
What I look like a 10-gallon.
He's a 35-gallon bag.
So yeah, that's my first tip.
All right.
Don't go if you don't have all your bills paid for that month.
Smart.
Never gamble with your mortgage.
Oh, and you've got 9 more tips coming over the course of the season, right?
Do you mean like a home equity loan? Because you do actually have to. Yeah, you got to tell them a reason. What your plans are for the money.
Yeah.
To
I'm
wa-
going
Go-
to Iowa.
to waste it?
No,
Go into the boat.
listen. I'm gonna double this.
Yeah.
Then pay you
I'm gonna bring it back.
in small coins,
Shoot.
Oh, boy.
and then I'll even bring you back one of my buffet coupons.
It's pretty good. If you like hearing people who are not professional singers sing, listen to Karaoke Big E. It's a
Yes.
show I do with Scott, and he's a frequent guest of the program as well. He's on a few episodes ago. And then also the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society is another program I do with former guests of the show Hoover Boss and all-star guest Dustin Wyckoff. We talk about the unmade Ernest projects that were written by the people who created the character Ernest P. Worrell. Of course, he's that regional spokesman that would always say, "You know what I mean, Vern." And that's a fun show to do. So listen to those if you want. They come out on Monday, every other Monday, and Tuesdays respectively. And
Oh, there was a Vern reference on an episode of Workaholics that I watched yesterday.
oh, really?
Yeah,
And then on that podcast they do, they have Ernest Drops. They have it. You know what I mean? Vern?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it was that where they were going to become hunters. And they killed a raccoon.
Really, I'll
Yeah.
have to keep an ear out for that one because I'm going through that series as well. Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Yeah.